We have worked with Sustainable Jersey for a long time. I guess we were a charter member, weren't we? And to this day, we are honored to help fund many of the programs that Sustainable New Jersey is involved in. And one of the most important things I believe that Sustainable New Jersey does is its interaction with municipalities. Bringing really what we're trying to achieve on the state level into the local level. Because this goal is not one that comes from the top down. It has to come as a collaborative effort between all of us. I drive around and I see solar on municipal rooftops. We have 13 municipalities today that are installing or in the process of installing microgrids, so that when another Sandy hits, notice I said when another Sandy hits, not if, when another Sandy hits, vital services will still be available to our municipalities and the citizens who live there. And just one thing, personal thing, if I may interject. As a former elected official, those local assets that we have, our police, our fire, our hospitals, have to keep working. Right after Sandy hit, my town was basically out of power. There was one little section somehow that had power. One gas station and a Dunkin' Donuts. The Dunkin' Donuts, to me, was the most important thing. So like everybody else, I went to that one Dunkin' Donuts that was available and still had power. And I got into line. 45 minutes later, I got to the counter, and I was told, we just ran out of cups. I don't want anybody in the future to run out of cups or miss their Dunkin' Donuts coffee. We need to ensure the fact that we have an infrastructure and we have the tools to continue to supply our citizens with what they need. Because as the First Lady said, these storms today, or the storms that we've experienced, are not storm of the century, or once every 100 years, or a 500-year storm. They're becoming yearly storms. Who would have expected in the month of March we would have had 3 devastating nor'easters that caused more power outages than we've had since Sandy? We work with the local municipalities to get that solar on your rooftops. Sustainable Jersey works with you and is a conduit. We have our ESIP program, which is a program that provides, I believe, so much help to all of our municipalities. And I wonder sometimes why every municipality doesn't take advantage of it. We have so many programs that we promote, that Sustainable Jersey promotes, to make things better. And I know I'm talking to the choir here. I'm preaching to the people who know. But it's extremely important that we never forget when we have an opportunity to go out and spread the word, so to speak, that we spread the word. It's very difficult to believe that there are still people who are naysayers regarding climate change. That, well, this is not going to happen. The First Lady mentioned a few things that might happen by the end of this century. We say, well, that's a long time ago. Well, that's only a little over 80 years from now. I'm not going to be around, I don't think. If I can, I'm going to try to be. As someone very nicely pointed out to me the other day, Joe, your runway's getting shorter. I don't know if that was a compliment. I'm still trying to figure that one out. But we all have, or most of us, know young people, have young people as relatives, have young people that we care about who might face the devastating effects of climate change. And I say this in every speech I give, and if you've heard it before, I'm not going to say forgive me because it's worth repeating. And it's something you have to repeat every time you go out and talk. Every time you go out and say, climate change is real. We have, and this is, if I may suggest, what I continue to say and will continue to say as long as I can continue to talk. We have a moral obligation, not just a mere obligation. We have a moral obligation to those children that we care about, whether they're our own or they're somebody else's. We have a moral obligation to them that we have done everything conceivable, everything humanly possible to minimize the effects of climate change. As was mentioned by the First Lady, the Board of Public Utilities is the lead agency in our offshore wind initiative. We have become an international, and I say this with humility, and I say it with the sincere hope that we can achieve it, the international go-to entity for offshore wind because of our aggressive goals laid out by Governor Murphy. We will have 3,500 megawatts of offshore wind by 2030. We will continue to increase our solar industry, an industry that we grew from infancy. And I've been on the board long enough to know those early days of solar. When we went to the SREC program and the abuse we took for going to the SREC program, because there were naysayers say, well, it will never work. I think it's worked. We have over 90,000 installed solar installations in the state of New Jersey, many of which are on your municipal buildings. Back in the early 2000s, just as a frame of reference, we had 6. New Jersey has a great story to tell. We don't tell it frequently enough. But that's up to all of us as I said before, because we are the ones who have to go out there. We are the ones who have to preach the word. We are the ones who have to say, listen, back in the early 2000s, they told us solar was too expensive to build. What's happened to the cost? It's come down. They're using the same argument as far as offshore wind is concerned. Well, we've let our European neighbors make a lot of mistakes, and we've learned from those mistakes. We will continue to learn from those mistakes, and we're seeing the cost of offshore wind starting to come down. So when people give the argument that all of this costs money, the answer is yes, it does. Do we have an alternative? Is climate change real? I think most of us here, if not all of us, submit the fact that it is. Then the bottom line is we don't have an alternative. We have to continue to move in that direction, a direction that's going to make us sustainable, a direction that's going to reduce our reliance and eventually eliminate our reliance on fossil fuel. Our job collectively, from the municipalities to the state to the federal government, and I'm not sure how much help we're going to get from them, but it's a collaborative effort. We have to do what has to be done. And in the meantime, as you well know, we have to also enhance our infrastructure. We'll never eliminate power outages, but hopefully we can reduce the frequency of them. Hopefully we can reduce the duration of those power outages. Does that cost money? Yes. See, I'm a romantic at heart. I always thought it was love that made the world go round. It's obviously money. But do we have an alternative? Those people, the people we serve, want to be able to go and get their Dunkin' Donuts coffee. And those young people who we're just renting this earth from, because they will be the occupants of it for a long time. And I borrowed that from a Native American saying. Have to have an earth and a world to live in. And just think about those children, your nieces, your nephews, your grandchildren. And just think that we have a moral obligation to ensure the fact that when we put our head on the pillow at night, we can say that we did everything possible, everything humanly possible, to make the world better and more sustainable. So I look forward to the collaboration with Sustainable Jersey. I look forward to working or continuing to work with various organizations, and particularly with our municipalities. Because together, New Jersey will be the greenest state in the Union by 2050. I thank you.